In this video, we are going to talk about Ketu in the Nakshatra of Mula, Padas, Symbolism and more. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Brahmanic Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. And if you want to learn Vedic Astrology step by step, join my free training for 3 hours and which will help you get started into Vedic Astrology, start making predictions even if you have no prior background to Vedic Astrology without spending thousands of dollars on Vedic Astrology online courses. Mula Nakshatra ranges from 0 degrees of Sagittarius to 13 degrees 20 minutes of Sagittarius. It has 4 padas. First pada goes into Aries sign, second pada goes into Taurus, third goes into the Gemini, and the fourth pada goes into the Cancer Navamsha. The deity associated with this nakshatra is Nriti. Nriti is the deity of destruction. So Nriti destructs things to create new and create new spiritual foundation for this person. Okay, we'll talk about that later when we'll talk about Ketu. Now, the symbolism associated with this nakshatra is roots, the Mula, and it has different meanings to it. Okay, the first meaning is the bunch of roots like trees which are hidden and are the very basis of the tree to grow, which will get what is necessary from the soil and will send it to the tree to grow. Another meaning of the word root is to be rooted. Okay, so these people have the foundation and the roots. When they do anything, when they say anything, it has a substance, it has the foundation. Okay, and which shows into their actions and results. Mula Nakshatra is a sharp nakshatra, and this is important. This sharpness is important to create the new spiritual change in one's life. Without this sharpness, new spiritual change cannot happen in one's life. Okay, you have to go to the other extreme to become the spiritual. Like the Mula Nakshatra is coming after the Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Jyeshtha is, as the name suggests, one which is superior, one who is having all the material wealth with them. So Jyeshtha literally means one who is superior, elder, and one who has all the material wealth. And now it moves to Mula. Now the Mula is about the destruction. So now whatever we have achieved materially, we have to destruct that to move on to our next journey into the spirituality. That's what this nakshatra represents. Okay, so what happens when Ketu comes in here? Ketu is the planet of inward energy, and this is a planet which is all about your previous lives. So in previous life, when you have Ketu placed into Mula into your chart, this lifetime shows that you have worked on the spiritual realm in your previous life. You have set the foundation. So now it's time for you to take the leap. So in this lifetime, it's about the spiritual growth. It's about connecting with the spiritual masters. So people with Mula into the Ketu into the Mula Nakshatra have association with people who are associated with astrology, with spirituality. All the Ketu and 8th house occult and mystical things will be they will be associated with. Another thing about Ketu in Mula Nakshatra is these people have to start their life afresh at least once in their lifetime. Like something will happen in their life which will make them to change their life completely. Like I was living in some city, will move on to some other country or to move on to some other place and start my life again. Okay, this is an important way of destruction. So I just destruct everything here and went on to create something bigger, better for myself in some other country or in some other city. So this is an important thing which I have observed with Ketu into the Mula Nakshatra people. Okay, when you have Mula Nakshatra, when you have Ketu into the Mula Nakshatra, you have some way or the other connection with the goddess Kali. You feel drawn towards the goddess Kali. Another thing about Ketu being in Mula Nakshatra is these people often destruct themselves through their ego. If they can handle their ego, they're most likely to enjoy their material gains throughout their life. Okay, it is said that whatever Mula Nakshatra people achieve, one day they'll lose it. Okay, but we all are going to lose it anyway when we'll die. Okay, but the point is, if they just guard on their ego, they would have far better they have a far better chance to enjoy their material wealth, material gain. Okay, these people have great ability with respect to medicines. Okay, in Ayurveda, Mula is root, which is about which has some medical significance. Okay, apart from it, Mula also represents the root cause. So when Ketu is connected with Mula, it shows that when Ketu goes into the Mula Nakshatra, these people have the ability to go to the root cause of any problem. They don't just look superficial. They go deep dive and they see and face and fix the root cause of any problem. This is the strength of Ketu in the Mula Nakshatra. So the planet of spirituality coming into the nakshatra of self-destruction. Okay, so these people have to guard against taking some random decisions just because some things are not useful. They have a tendency to cut it off. Mula Nakshatra is dasha ruled by Ketu. So if you have moon into the sign of Ketu, your dasha sequence will start with Ketu. More so, it comes into the sign of Sagittarius, which is the 9th sign and which is ruled by Jupiter. So all this destruction, all this transformation is for your highest good and greatest growth. So you have to use it for your best interest. You should use it for your best possible spiritual foundation, rather than just cutting things off just because they are not useful. You should build something which will help you to grow spiritually. And that's what they do when you have Ketu placed into the Mula Nakshatra. Another thing about Ketu in Mula Nakshatra is Ketu is a planet without head. Mula Nakshatra is the nakshatra. The deity is about the destruction. So these people have to guard themselves against the destructions. Like they can take some decision which will prove to be destructive for themselves. Okay, so when they are taking any decisions, they have to be very careful about it, because Ketu does not have a head. So you don't have to go blind or go crazy. You always have to ground yourself. Jupiter will help you to ground this Ketu. Let's say if you have any Jupiter conjunction with this Ketu or Mercury conjunction with this Ketu, then you have wisdom or intelligence with this Ketu, which will really help you to balance things out and to create a spiritual foundation for yourself. This nakshatra has 4 padas. The first pada goes into the Aries Navamsha. Now this is one of the most, I would say, the challenging pada in this nakshatra. Why? Because now we are moving from the Scorpio, the watery sign, to the Sagittarius, the fiery sign, right? And that's what the Gandanta is. So the first few degrees of this nakshatra, which comes into Aries sign, again a fiery sign, is the most challenging pada for any planet. So when Ketu comes in here, he has to be careful about whatever we discussed about, the self-destruction, the decision making, getting to the root cause of it. They have to be really careful not to take any extreme decisions. The second pada of this nakshatra goes into Taurus Navamsha, and this is, have the rulership of Venus. So this is much better and a relaxed pada as compared to the first pada. Okay, so the second pada is more artistic, more stable, and tends to do better with Ketu into this pada. The third pada of this nakshatra goes into the Gemini pada, which is ruled by Mercury, and here Ketu loves to be into this pada. Okay, because now he is more driven intellectually, and now all the focus is moved from spirituality to the intellectual things. So now he starts to think about what's happening in his life and how he can change his life and how to bring in and build the foundation. And now he's looking at all these things through the intellectual mind and not just getting carried away into it, which improves their decision making. Now the fourth pada is ruled by Cancer, which is the Ashtamamsha, which is, you know, also one of the challenging pada for this nakshatra and Ketu, which shows you have to balance things and not to get carried away emotionally. Okay, which will help you to take better decisions in your life. Okay, so emotional vulnerability is what you can see and expect into this fourth pada of Mula Nakshatra into Cancer Navamsha. So yes, this was Ketu into the Mula Nakshatra as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you want to learn Vedic astrology step by step, join me on 33 days Vedic astrology bootcamp or join my 3 hours free training, sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace. Namaste.